Last night I spoke to Sean Spicer about the unhinged rant of former President Joe Biden's troubled son Hunter. Here's a clip from Hunter's rant that we didn't show last night, but here he says it's illegal migrants from El Salvador that should not be sent back there. Have a listen to what he said.
How are we getting those people back from El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the president of El Salvador and say, you either send them back or I'm going to invade. It's a crime what they're doing. He's a dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both.
Well, today the leader of El Salvador hit back on Twitter with this blunt reply. He wrote, quote, "Is Hunter Biden sniffing powdered milk?" referring to Biden's earlier troubles with drug use. And then US border czar Tom Homan was just as blunt, referring to the former First Lady Jill Biden's son Hunter as the first drug addict. Have a listen.
I don't really care what the former first drug addict thinks. I just thank God every morning I wake up, we got President Trump in the Oval Office.
Kosher, Hunter Biden's made himself an international joke with this ridiculous rant. What's he trying to achieve?
Who knows? It was a wild ride, James. There were some nuggets in there, like the George Clooney stuff and the Nancy Pelosi stuff that were interesting, and probably there was some truth to them. But this stuff, he's punching above his pay grade. He and his father were not as popular as Trump is at this point in his presidency, and certainly not as popular as President Bukele of El Salvador is. He's the most popular democratically elected leader in the world, something like a 90% approval rating, because of what he has done to that country's criminal situation, and he's just brought down the homicide rate, like dropping it like a stone. These two gentlemen know what they're doing, both presidents, in terms of deporting these bad hombres, as President Trump calls them, putting them in these maximum security prisons in El Salvador. Very popular policy, because it's very good policy, and nobody cares what Hunter thinks, and he is not covering himself in glory, to say the least.
All right, before we go to a break, the Jeffrey Epstein story just won't go away, and why should it? There's still so many unanswered questions, but it's taken another turn, with the Republican-led House Oversight Committee reportedly set to subpoena convicted sex trafficker and widow of Jeffrey Epstein. The British socialite would be summoned to give testimony, potentially revealing details that so many people are now calling to be made public. Kosher, what do you think of this, and where's it going to go? I mean, she would know most about what's been going on, right, at Epstein's Island.
Yes, she would, and Epstein's former lawyer, one of his lawyers, Alan Dershowitz, has called her the Rosetta Stone, because she knows everything of this whole web of a story that we've been piecing together in the public eye. Congress is correctly reading, as you said, that the interest in this is not going away. There's massive interest in it across the electorate, but especially among the Republican base, for good reason, legitimate reason. Even the President Trump has been trying to make it go away. And while they don't have investigative power, they do have subpoena power, Congress. They do have the ability to haul people in front of Congress, in front of microphones and television, and answer questions under penalty of perjury. It would make for great television, given the interest, and they also know that it plays well to their constituents. So that's what they're indicating they might do. I don't know how much we're going to learn about it, because there's been an entire investigation. She's not Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't tell us everything about the cover-up, allegedly, and other things that conspiracies are, abounding about. But maybe we get some more nuggets from it, and it'll certainly be all eyes on her if that were to take place.
Absolutely. Kosher Garda, always a joy to speak with you. Thank you so much.